A sweeping claim concerning West Michigan coronavirus recovery rates has hit the internet, but is it true? We're on your side with the facts. Plus, an employee for a West Michigan casino tests positive for the coronavirus, what the company plans to do to avoid an outbreak. And a group dedicated to limiting Governor Whitmer's power, what they'll need to do in order to pull that off. It's 6 o'clock and you're up with 13.
You're watching 13 on your side.
Good morning, West Michigan. I'm James. It is Tuesday, July 7th. Thank you so much for waking up with us. It is 6 o'clock, bright and early. As you can see behind me, Elena has all the sunshine right there. This week, Meredith and Laura are off. And as I said, Elena is joining us this morning. Elena, what can folks expect today? Beautiful shot, by the way. Michigan State Police are asking for your help finding a woman that walked away from her adult foster care facility. They say Kathy Ann Albert had permission when she left the home on 10th Street in Plainwell, but did not return when expected. Police say Albert has psychological issues and can be violent when she is offered medications. It is thought that she may be trying to hitchhike to the Petoskey area. She's 42 years old, stands 5'8" with brown hair and blue eyes. Anyone that knows where she may be is asked to call 911 or MSP's Wayland Post. Over the past 3 days, daily positive COVID-19 cases in Kent, Ottawa, and Muskegon counties have decreased, but new federal research shows the coronavirus is indeed spreading to Black and Latinx West Michiganders at a disproportionate rate. Prior numbers have already confirmed people of color were being harmed by the virus at higher rates, but according to new data made available via the New York Times, we now know the coronavirus is affecting Black and Latinx people in a much more widespread manner. In Kent County, people of color account for 63% of infections, but they only make up just 20% of the county's population. That also shows infection rate for Black people in Kent County is 4 times the infection rate for white people. Staying on the topic of Kent County COVID-19 numbers, this morning we're verifying a claim you may have seen circling around the internet. It says of all the people infected with COVID-19, 99% of them have recovered. While this does sound amazing, is it true? 13 on your side reporter Nate Belt verifies. The Lake Casino says an employee has tested positive for COVID-19. The casino made the announcement over the weekend, saying the employee tested positive during routine testing. The business says the employee did not have any regular contact with chips or playing cards and is now self-isolating for 14 days. The casino says it has cleaned all the areas that person came in contact with and will remain open. The video that took social media by storm this past Saturday, a 4th of July celebration at Diamond Lake in Cass County, showing around 150 people partying at the sandbar. No masks, no social distancing in sight. Here's what Governor Whitmer's office had to say. Her press secretary Tiffany Brown put out this statement, and it reads, while most Michiganders safely enjoyed their holiday weekend, it was incredibly disappointing to see so many people gathering in large groups and not practicing social distancing. COVID-19 is still very present in Michigan, and this is not a time for Michiganders to let their guards down. A group wanting to limit Governor Whitmer's power will start collecting signatures soon. They're launching a petition drive in hopes to repeal a 1945 law that gives Governor Whitmer broad emergency powers during the pandemic. The state election board approved a summary of the petition Monday. The group, Unlock Michigan, needs to collect about 340,000 signatures. If the group does collect the required amount of signatures, it passes the state legislature and will become law and cannot be vetoed by the governor. Now to developing news from Ottawa County. Ottawa County sheriffs are investigating a crash witnesses say started from street racing. Last night around 9:30, deputies responded to a single car crash near the 6-mile marker eastbound of I-96 in Crockery Township. Witnesses to the crash said told law enforcement prior to that crash that car was seen driving recklessly, possibly racing another car, before that driver lost control and veered off the highway. They then plowed into several trees at a high speed. The driver was pinned in the car until freed by deputies. Luckily, she was wearing a seatbelt and does not have any injuries. The passenger, however, not so lucky. He was partially ejected from the vehicle. He was then taken to the hospital with multiple serious injuries. A 2-year-old child is dead after drowning in a swimming pool in Ionia County. On Sunday, Ionia County sheriffs responded to reports of an unresponsive child at a home off East Washington Street. Once on scene, first responders took the child to a nearby hospital. Life-saving actions were attempted but were unsuccessful. The case has been turned over to the county prosecutor, but no foul play is suspected. Good morning, West Michigan. I'm James. Thank you so much for staying up with us. Meredith has the week off, and we have a lot to cover this half hour, one of which this heat wave that is continuing in West Michigan. Downtown Grand Rapids, along with the rest of West Michigan, is in for another humid day. And you can see right there on the thermometer, we are inching closer to the 80-degree mark. Elena Naring joins us now with hopefully some good news about some relief. Elena? Now to the fight against the coronavirus in Michigan. The number of new cases has dropped for a third straight day. Let's take a look at the latest numbers. 297 new cases were confirmed Monday, moving the total number of cases over the 66,000 mark. Also, 3 more people have died from the virus. Overall, close to 6,000 people have lost their lives to COVID-19. But the numbers, they only tell part of the story. We've been fighting this pandemic for roughly 4 months, and a lot has changed. Angela Cunningham is live from the Kent County Health Department this morning. And Angela, are we facing the same dangers now that we were facing at the start of the pandemic? Thank you, Angela. The state of Michigan will now start inspecting hospitals to make sure they're providing proper protective equipment for staff. That's according to Michigan Radio. It comes after at least 15 workers have died, possibly from COVID-19. There have been numerous complaints from healthcare workers across our state, including a lawsuit against Hackley Hospital in Muskegon. Back in March, staff members raised concerns the hospital refused to allow staff to wear masks donated by the public. The state inspections are set to begin in the coming weeks. On the national level, there continues to be a surge of new COVID-19 cases. In the last 6 days, there have been 250,000 new infections, pushing the nationwide total to nearly 3 million confirmed cases. Now, several states, including Georgia and Florida, are rolling back reopening plans. This as lawmakers fall victim to the virus. Atlanta's Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms has revealed she's tested positive for the virus. Meanwhile, the president is pushing forward with his 2020 campaign. He's holding a rally this weekend in New Hampshire. It will be outdoors and masks will be provided, but not required. The White House is rejecting calls for a national mask mandate. President Trump sees the issue as a state matter. Right now, over a dozen states, including Michigan, require masks to be worn when out in public. The CDC has said wearing a face mask is one of the best ways to slow the spread of COVID-19. We do want to hear from you this morning. Do you think there should be a federal mask mandate? Let us know in our poll, 13onyourside.com/vote. And it looks like over half of you believe there should be a federal mask mandate. Today, we expect to learn more about the death of a teenager who died at a group home in Kalamazoo. Back in April, 16-year-old Cornelius Fredericks went into cardiac arrest after employees tried to restrain him at Lakeside Academy. The attorney representing Fredericks' family is expected to release video of that incident at a press conference today. The attorney, Jeffrey Feiger, says portions of that video have been deleted, but it hasn't been determined if staff at Lakeside Academy is responsible for that missing footage. 3 employees have been charged with manslaughter and child abuse in connection with Fredericks' death. More than 3 years after a Kalamazoo County man was reported missing and then later found dead, a suspect has been arrested. 71-year-old Ronald French was last seen on June 4, 2017 in Brady Township. At the time of his disappearance, officials said he suffered from epilepsy and a heart condition. Investigators say a suspect was arrested yesterday and will be charged with open murder. That suspect has not yet been identified by police. We do have a crime alert out of Kentwood. A reward is being offered for information about a robbery at the Kentwood Outlet Pawn Shop. This happened last week. The suspect smashed a glass door to get in, and he was inside for less than a minute, but got away with roughly 200 pieces of jewelry. The owner feels whoever did this is local.
He knew exactly where he was going, so he must have planned this. Went right to the jewelry cabinet and tried to smash the TV to open it. That didn't work, so he ripped it open and he grabbed trays of gold.
The store owner says this robbery is a big setback considering they've been closed due to the pandemic. He's offering a reward for information leading to a conviction. Today, the Grand Rapids Police Department will share their thoughts on a proposed bill banning the use of tear gas. Representative Cara Hope is behind the bill. She introduced it after reports of police departments across the country using tear gas as a way to control crowds. Hope says its use